Well, welcome down here to the Foundation's office here in C-Tech building. I'm Jamie and I'm going to be interviewing today Rick and Nancy. If you would like to introduce yourselves to the folks at home, that would be greatly appreciated.
I'm Nancy Vonburg.
And I'm her husband, Rick Vonburg.
And we are a team.
So you've spent a lot of your life here. Obviously both of you were teachers here in the past. You know, you've been supporting and being a part of EWC for a long time. How did you guys meet?
Okay, we went to school 8 miles apart. Basin and Grable in northern Wyoming. But we met on a blind date in Laramie.
Okay, interesting. So, how did that go? Obviously it went pretty well.
Well, it did. We both had been dating other people, and my roommate's girlfriend had met Nancy, and she said, you know, there's kind of a girl from your home area that you probably should meet. And so I called her up and we went on a date, and I think it was kind of like a home. You know, we'd been out with these other people and they weren't people we could identify with, and you know, they just didn't have the same background and values we did, and when we met it was just like home, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Our first date, actually, we went to a drive-in in Laramie with it was a snowstorm. So
It
was
snowed.
Yeah,
The movie
cold.
was awful. He brought Colt 45 beer. I don't drink.
So the beginning signs weren't too promising, but in the end obviously worked out.
Yes, it did.
So you both, as I said, you both used to be teachers here. So how did you find teaching here, and kind of what made it so special for you, EWC?
But, well, it was there again. It was kind of by accident. We were in Wayne, Nebraska. That's where Rick's first job was. And we were coming back to summer school to finish my master's and his doctorate, supposedly. Maybe my master's. Anyway, we were celebrating. That was 73. That the year I got my degree. So we were celebrating in our little...
It was the end of summer school, we were celebrating, and earlier in the summer I had talked to my advisor in Laramie and said, you know, I really don't like it in Nebraska. I would like to get back to Wyoming. So if you hear of anything, you know, please let me know. Well, in August, one of the instructors in ag resigned suddenly, and so Guido Smith called my advisor in Laramie and said, do you happen to know anybody that might be interested in coming to Torrington? And he called me and he said, well, I think I do know somebody, and gave Guido my number, and Guido called, and I had to go into a closet because we were partying, you know, you're in partying at summer school, and said, would you like to come over and visit with us? We have an opening, you know. So Nancy and I came over to Torrington and decided that this is where we would like to come.
And that's a really lovely story in itself, and obviously you both then became teachers, had a very kind of long career here, and then, you know, you ended up retiring, but then you also then became a member of the foundation. So just kind of run me through what brought you back into the system here at EWC.
Well, when I was thinking about coming here, one thing I did was I went over to the admissions office at the University of Wyoming and said, you know, what kind of reputation do the transfer students from EWC have coming to Wyoming? And this lady said, we love to have the transfer students from EWC. They're well prepared, they are good students, they get involved in activities. And I thought, boy, that's a pretty good recommendation. And then when I came and started teaching here, I don't know what it is, but the kind of students that we attract at EWC are just the greatest. A lot of them have a rural background, they understand responsibility, you know, they know how to work, they have a work ethic, and so I don't know what it is, and I guess when I retired reluctantly because My wife had heart surgery, and I felt I needed to be home and be at her side and help her. But I just could not, you know, I still wanted to be involved in EWC because, first of all, because of all that it had done for me and us and our family. You know, we have 5 children, and all 5 children attended EWC. 4 of them graduated from EWC. Our oldest daughter was a, what do you call it?
She was in the first Phi Theta Kappa.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
she was the first Phi Theta Kappa, and I don't know, it's just, I just love this place, and I just couldn't seem to get away from it, so I was trying to think, you know, what's a way maybe that I could still be involved? And when they asked me if I'd be interested in being on the foundation, I jumped at that.
And you mentioned about the fact that you reluctantly retired so that you could be at home, and just kind of run me through, both of you, how important has it been for you to be there for each other, and how kind of has that been?
Well, I don't know what Nancy's going to say, but I mean, she has been integral in my life. I can't imagine what my life would have been without Nancy. And she's always supported me and always been there and always pushed me when I needed to be pushed. And I mean, she's just been an integral part of my life.
I think that coming from similar backgrounds has helped us, you know. Rick was very much an introvert when we first got married. And I thought, and I'm one that likes to socialize. So,
And I really was. I mean, when
oh, you were.
I grew up out on the farm, and when people would come, I'd go run out in the hayfield or something. You know, I hide under the table. I wasn't very social.
So I think that JC's did change our life. I mean, one day he was watching TV, and the next day he was out doing projects, and it really, I mean, we went a lot of places to JC's, met a lot of people.
Learned the importance of community service.
Yes, we did. My favorite project was actually 50 years ago next year. We did bicentennial fire hydrants.
Okay.
The girls did. We had JCs in those days, and it was, I think that really made an impact on me. Then we just started going places and doing things.
Just really works as a team. So, I mean, Rick, let's just touch on the award that you got, and you were recognised by the foundation recently for your hard work.
Well, we both were.
And you both were.
Both were.
You know, your hard work and your commitment to the foundation. Just run me through kind of how does it feel to win the award, and kind of how does it feel to be recognised for that?
Well, as I said the night that I accepted the award, I felt a little bit embarrassed because it's like getting an award for breathing. Because, I mean, it's just what we do to support the college, you know, and it seems weird to get an award for doing something that you love to do and helping a place that you love. But, of course, we're very honored and humbled. I guess it proves that, you know, if you're around long enough that at some point they can't ignore you anymore. They have to do something, but really, you know, it's very humbling.
It was very humbling.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that they decided that they gave the award to both of us, because we are a team. You know, it's just very fitting.
Yeah. And, you know, your hard work for the foundation's been apparent, and that's something that cannot be questioned. But as the college grows and kind of it starts to get bigger and it starts to try and broaden its horizons a little bit, what do you hope that the college can become?
Well, I guess the first thing about a community college is it needs to be responsive. So as we look to the future, I think we need to be aware of, you know, where do we need to go to best fit what the community needs are. So whatever we become, I hope it's what the community needs us to become. I hope we don't lose the family atmosphere, you know, as we grow, which I'm sure we will, and I hope we will. I think we still need to be as a family. I hope we still draw the kind of students that we've always drawn, that are just good students, just good people. I hope we never get away from that. There are so many different directions. I mean, things are changing so fast. It kind of reminds me of, I heard a story at one of the community colleges in the United States, and they were growing, and they said they were building a building, and they said, well, what can we do to be technologically ready for the future? And they said, put in a lot of electrical plug-ins. Because who knows what's going to be, what we're going to have to plug in, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know, what do you think, huh?
I don't know, I never thought I'd live long enough to see all this technological change, so I didn't learn a lot. I thought, I don't need to use that in the future. And it's changing so fast that it's just, and I think one thing that's difficult, when we came here, it was one building and a dorm, right?
Yeah.
So everybody was in the same building, you know, now it's not as easy to be a family. In fact, the cafeteria was downstairs,
Okay.
so we were all one big kind of happy family.
And it must be said, you know, it's talking from a student's perspective, I think that there's still very much that family aspect here, and it's something that has definitely ended up feeling a bit of a home away from home for me. So,
Good.
you know, that's something that, you know, there's a bit of immediate feedback, you know, from a student. It's, you know, it's apparent, and it's something that I agree, I hope that kind of stays here as the college begins to grow and gets new attraction. So just kind of,
Well, just along that same lines, one
Yeah.
thing I would point out is, one thing I always noticed, and I think it's still true, you know, you go over to the cafeteria and you don't, most of the time, you don't see like a clique of golfers here and a clique of rodeo here. You see a lot of interaction, which I think is really great, you know, it's part of what we are.
yeah, and you know, we were talking earlier about the fact of having that infatuation of being a Lancer, and I think certainly with a lot of the athletes, it resonates very, very much, and even students that aren't a part of an athletic team still kind of have that, you know, I'm a Lancer, and it's definitely almost a way of life, almost, I think, for the people that attend here. So, you know, on behalf of EWC and the Foundation, thank you for all the work that both of you have done, and thank you for sitting down for this interview. It's been great to talk to you. It's been great to get to know you. I really appreciate your time.
Well,
both of
thank you, Jamie.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much, nice to meet you.
Good luck to you in your future.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us in.